Now we're getting into the meat of this organization. We're going to get into Andrew Rappleyea today. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the We Are Baseline podcast. My name is Julian Smith, and I'm with Alex Radaichak. Alex, it's been a while. How have you been?
It has been a while. It's been good, man. I've been enjoying the summer. I've been enjoying my time off. Been relaxing a bit, just counting down the days until the season starts. It grows slower by the day, but we're crawling our way there. It's only a few days away now. We're getting a fall camp news. Just every little drop now. Every little drop it's hitting. I'm so excited, man. I'm so excited for this next season. There's so much to look forward to. But yeah, we're starting with Andrew Rappleyea today. Uh, should
Well,
be awesome. There's a lot to talk about.
there's that. Andrew Rappleyea is awesome, but you know what other thing is awesome? We both got, as we were crawling to
Yep.
the semester, we
Mm-hmm.
got a golden ticket. We got
Yep. Willy
season
Wonka hit us
tickets.
up.
Yep. We got season tickets to the Penn State student section. And so we'll be at every game. That's going to be super awesome.
Yeah. And if there's
That's
any
what I'm
game
most
we miss, we will be making good money on the resale. Best believe
hopefully.
it.
But the plan for now is that we're going to be at every game because that's
Yeah,
awesome.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Because Penn State games are like
Hmm.
the
It's an
being a
experience.
yeah. They're the first
It's
team
half
where
the right. It's half
like
the value of being a student, basically.
yeah. And like, you know
Mm.
how every high school has like red out, blue out, any type of color out. Penn State was the first one to do it at the
Yeah,
white
the
out.
OG.
Yeah, we're the OG. So I will be at the OG game. You will be at the OG game. Everybody will be at the
Hmm.
OG game. It's gonna be super
Yeah,
awesome.
you couldn't pry that ticket out of my hands. I'm
No,
going 100%. I was there for the Oregon game. It didn't go how we wanted it to go, but it was awesome.
yeah,
Lost all my voice. Pretty sure I scared everybody in my vicinity, but I don't really care. I was doing my part. I'm ready to do it again. I'm ready to lose my voice every weekend again.
yeah,
It just can't come soon enough, man.
100%. And you know what? Today we're gonna be talking about Andrew Rappleyea, and I say the meat of this organization because like tight ends, man.
Yeah, it's
Ever
become the new
since the
thing here.
Franklin trade, like
Yeah.
we had Tyler Warren, we had two other guys before that.
Pat
Penn State
Fryermuth.
has had some very nice tight ends in the system,
Mm,
and Andrew Rappleyea. I'm not going to come out here and say he's better than Tyler Warren because not you're not going to
nah,
find many that are
nah.
better than Tyler
We
Warren,
won't get
but
ahead of ourselves.
like he is in the same organization. He worked with Tyler Warren. And so there are some really big cues that I see from Andrew Rappleyea that might make him a pretty elite level player. Like
Mm,
at I think his floor is a great player. And I want to talk about why today because I think there are some really good things to look at.
mm. Yeah, I agree. I think 100%. He really strikes me as a true and proper Big Ten tight end. He's very physical. He chirps. Like he will talk all game. He'll back it up. He's strong. He is. He's what you think of. If you picture a Penn State tight end, if we're being real, Tyler Warren wouldn't be what comes to mind. Not at all. He's flashy. He's fun. And on the other hand, Andrew Rappleyea, he's fundamentally sound. He's a great blocker. He pairs very well with Penn State's offensive tackles. He is good at finding soft spots in the defense in the same way that Tyler Warren was. They have similar strengths there. But he is, I would say, a much more physically imposing player. Even if I'm not really sure off the top of my head if he's that much bigger than Tyler Warren, if they're the same size or not. But he throws his weight around. Like he is known to. He's very physical. He's great on the run. Um, I think he's going to be a very, like you said, his floor is an impact player. I think he comes into this year and he's an impact player. I think the only way that doesn't happen, knock on wood, God forbid, is if his injuries continue to catch up with him. I think he is, that's his only risk, really. I think even if he stagnates these next couple years, he's going to be a really good player for us. I think he could evolve into a great player for us. I think he could be a top of the line Big Ten tight end. He's got all the makings of it, 100%. Um, but besides that, I think really the only other the big story that I'm looking at coming into this year is him and Ben Brahmer. It's figuring out who's going to be the starter because I think between those two, who the starter is really determines okay, how much value is Matt Campbell and his staff putting on the guys who have been with him, the guys who have been in this system. Because as it stands right now, and I'm no expert, but I would say that Rappleyea does impress me more than Brahmer. From what we've seen in camp, he looks very solid. He looks rock solid. He looks like he stands out. And Ben Brahmer looks really good too. But if I'm choosing between the two, I would probably choose Rappleyea. But come game day, that could be an entirely different situation. It could be a situation where Taylor Mauser's calling plays and he feels way more comfortable, and Rocco Becht feels more comfortable. Matt Campbell feels more comfortable with getting the ball to the guy that they've known has been into the system. He's caught balls from them before. He's run these routes for years now. I think that's entirely possible, and I wouldn't blame them at all. But I think that first domino, what we see there, will be very indicative of what Taylor Mauser and the Matt Campbell regime will think about their Iowa State guys and their experience in the system versus Penn State OGs.
I think well, you were just talking about Ben Brahmer versus Andrew Rappleyea. I think Rappleyea is a really interesting one because to me, he fits the Rocco Becht system a lot better. And the reason I say that is because he's a huge guy. Rocco Becht doesn't like to throw the ball very far. That's a difference between Drew Aller and Rocco Becht, is that Drew Aller in the best form that he can be is a guy that's throwing the ball 40 to 50 yards. And that's something where having a wide receiver like tight end, like Tyler Warren, who can run 40 yards, catch the ball over somebody's head, that was a huge deal. But Andrew Rappleyea doesn't have to be Tyler Warren now because Rocco Becht's system is to move the chains. He needs to move first down as much as he can. And I think that what Andrew Rappleyea gives you is the ability to get 4 yards, the ability to get 5 yards every time he gets the ball.
Check downs, short passes, absolutely.
Yeah, I see him as the short passes version of a running back, where last year you would rely on Katron Allen to get 3 to 4 yards. That was a down because if you can get 3 to 4 yards at each down, then you can get first down. Yeah.
Yeah, you can get touchdowns. That's what wins games.
Yeah. And Andrew Rappleyea gives you the ability to say, hey, if the running backs are completely blocked out by the defense, well, Andrew Rappleyea is just sitting right here ready to take the ball 4 yards for you and do exactly what the running backs were supposed to do. And then if need be, his longest catch was a 53-yard catch. So he can catch the ball at long range too. You've got two elite transfers from Iowa State, guys that one catches the ball on average per catch 17 yards per catch, and you have wide receivers that can catch the ball long. You have a tight end that can do the running back's job short. I think Rocco Becht, especially with the offensive line he has now, has more options than we initially thought. This Penn State offense is actually, I think, the calling card of this team because of the amount of options that Rocco Becht has and the sheer skill that comes along with the best of Iowa State and the returning members of Penn State.
Yeah. And I think for as much as we've talked about how, especially I have, Taylor Mauser's sort of let your nuts hang style, it's not let's be stupid, right? There's a big difference between, letting the offense ride, having some swagger, not being afraid of those deep balls, and playing a Madden offense, right? Like, it's not a video game. They're not going to be stupid, right? I would trust I trust our offensive coordinators and our play callers to recognize the value of the short game, and that's what we've seen a lot of in the training camp as well. Now, whether or not you want to chalk that up to Tony Rojas completely blocking out the middle of the field, which that's another story, by the way. Tony Rojas in fall camp has been awesome so far. He is looking like a legit middle of the field pass threat. Like he shuts it down from everything I'm seeing. They can't do anything over the middle of the field, which is a that's either a horrible sign for us or a great sign for our defense. I'm leaning towards the latter, but yeah, I you're right. Andrew Rappleyea isn't Tyler Warren, and he can have similar strengths and all of that, but he's a short to middle kind of receiver who can absolutely make those big plays. He can make those, he likes to get open in space. He likes to find the creases in the defense and sit there. And when you play like that, you can break big plays 100%. We saw that happen against Rutgers. And obviously that one post route he took to the house on a 4th and 2. That's kind of what he does. That's what I'm looking for him to do all year. These chip blocks, chip routes, helping with the run game, being that reliable option in the pass game. That's what we need. We need reliability now. Because I don't think we're gonna have this whole like swaggy offense right away. You need trust to do that. And this is a team that for the most part, is playing with each other for the first time in their lives. Right? There's a lot of unfamiliarity from the top down, really. And I think Rappleyea could be huge for that, for transitioning into, for building trust, for being a safety valve, and then for letting the offense unlock itself. I think that is where he could shine here, and I'm looking for him to. I'm really excited to see him throwing people around. I'm really excited to see how physical he can get. I'm just excited to see his role here, really.
Yeah, I think you made a really good point because reliability is something that people sleep on. I think that people love the big plays. People love when Tyler Warren disguised as a center and went and caught a ball off a play where Drew Aller caught a backwards pass. And then that's awesome. That is Penn State football. But at the same time, when you're competing for a championship and you're in the Big Ten, reliability is one of the biggest factors. And that's why Ohio State, because they have a great offensive line, Oregon as well, because they have these good offensive lines and defensive lines, they're reliable. They do the same stuff every time. Their quarterback has all the time in the world. Julian Sayin has a ton of time to make those throws.
Yeah,
and
that's trust.
Yeah. There is a lot about his 80% pass completion that came from his sheer amount of time being in that pocket without being chased around. And that's what having a Andrew Rappleyea would do for you, is a tight end who can give you all the options. That's the reliability. And I think that Penn State having that, the offense is blossoming. I'm pretty certain of that this year. With the way that we've structured the roster, it seems like most of the holes have been filled. Defensively, there are a few structural changes like the edge rushers. That's something that we'll definitely discuss come next week or the week after. We'll definitely talk about Tony Rojas. I think there's a lot to talk about there. But in terms of offense, Andrew Rappleyea is the one missing piece that Matt Campbell gets with Penn State that actually transforms this offense into a reliable unit that can move the sticks each and every time they get to first down. And I was watching the Iowa State versus Iowa game on YouTube, and one of the biggest issues was that Rocco Becht was making perfect passes. They were getting dropped. Andrew Rappleyea says, no, those balls are not going to get dropped. If you give it to me, I will get. And that's That's all reliability. I think that Andrew
Mhm.
Rappleyea absolutely gives that to you, and I'm excited to see him play.
Yeah, 100%. And like what you said with Julian saying, it's like, you know, everybody comments on the 80% completion percentage on how great he was in that regard, how his accuracy must be incredible. Well, when you have an incredible offensive line, an all-time great wide receiver room, of course you're going to. It's all part of a system, right? NFL or not just NFL, just football. Football offenses and defenses, it's not about the individual. It's about what the individual can make in terms of an impact for the whole roster. How can for it with our tight end? How can our tight end help out our offensive line with the block? How can they chip the edge rusher, take him out of the play, and then find the soft spot in defense? How can he play the short game? How can he play the short to medium, middle of the field passing window while our wide receivers go deep or while our wide receivers play the sidelines? It's uniquely with the tight end, I'd say. It's uniquely about how you can impact the team as a whole because it fills so many roles. Nobody I've ever seen was as good as that as Tyler Warren. I think for as long as I live, Tyler Warren could be the standard in that regard with how he was able to impact every aspect of the offense, even the ones that he shouldn't be. He had no business being at center. What are we talking about? He's throwing the ball. All right, dude, we're having fun. But it goes to show the tight end is a much more critical part of the offense than we give it credit for. Because a truly incredible tight end can do wonders for any offense. You know, my mind goes to Rob Gronkowski and how incredible he was as a blocker and how unstoppable he was as a pass catcher. Like we said, Tyler Warren, Colson Loveland at Michigan, and how successful that offense was. Trey McBride somehow barely managing to keep the Cardinals offense alive is the only light in a sea of darkness out there in the in the Southwest. But yeah, I think Andrew Rappleyea could really do a lot for perching up this offense early on, for getting a rhythm. I'm hoping he can do so because we could really use that. We could really use that. There's so much, like I've said, unfamiliarity here. We need a rhythm early. We need to get moving. Thankfully, we're facing cupcakes the first 3 weeks of the year. You know, knock on wood, I guess. Again, I'm knocking twice this episode. Really playing it. I want to play it safe because I'm traumatized from last season. But hopefully, we can win. You know, at Temple. I think that's the big challenge. I guess Marshall. But yeah, as long as we get that rhythm going and our guys get familiar and everything starts moving, you know, it's well oiled. Um, I think this offense could come alive. I think cracks could 100% show in the middle of the season. You know, everything's good on paper when it's just numbers and names, but it's when you put things to the test that I think this team will really show its merit. And even now, with how much better I feel like the offense is than I was expecting, I still feel like our defense is the strong unit just because of who we are, really. I mean, we're Penn State. We're not Midwest team, but basically we're in the Big Ten. We're basically Midwest, is what that means. Uh, it's defensive identity. It's physicalness. It's toughness. Um, I will just always feel better when my team's on defense than offense. Maybe it's, you know, I grew up as a Notre Dame fan. I've been a Penn State fan recently. That's always been scary. Offense, when my team's on offense, it's always been cause for concern. But I'm hoping we can switch that up. I think we've got the potential to 100,000%. And I'm excited to see us do so because Let Your Nuts Hang sounds fun. I haven't had much fun recently. And Tyler Warren was it. But hey, if you're telling me we're going to have fun, I like fun.
Yeah. Yeah, this Penn State team does sound really, really fun this year, especially with the new coach. I hope
Yeah.
that we get a chance to meet him at some point. Like
Be
all of
awesome.
this, yeah, all of this sounds fun. If you guys see us in the hallways, give us a shout. Hey, I
Mm-hmm.
watch your podcast. We're still small, but you know, we've got some pretty awesome things that we're looking to do once the season starts, and well, season being school season starts, semester starts, and
Mhm.
we get back on campus. We're going to be doing some pretty awesome stuff. So I'm really excited. Um, Let us know in the comments what you guys think of Andrew Rappleyea, and tell your friends. This is we are trying to build this podcast. I want to keep talking on this
Gonna
podcast.
throw it
So,
out there.
oh yeah, absolutely.
Mhm.
Thank you everyone for tuning in. Check us out on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and our beautiful faces on YouTube. Check out our Instagram, and as always, we are
Penn State. Let's go. Thank you for watching.